Hi guys, it's me Sam, another little video talking about guitar tricks today. So I hope you enjoy these. I enjoy these every day, I think they're great. So let's get rocking. Okay, the Dimebag Darrell Whammy bar squeals, also done by guys like Steve Vai, who else? Matthias Eklund is an absolute master of these. The idea is I'm dumping the bar down and then hitting a harmonic and bringing it up, and you get this seamless, just a lovely sound. Okay, right, so what you're going to need to do this is preferably a Floyd Rose. I suppose you could get away with this on other trems, but I'm all about the Floyd personally. So the other thing you need is a high action. Now my action, I mean, you couldn't sail a ship under it, but it's fairly high, and I believe that helps with other stuff like bending strings and vibrato. It makes it harder to play fast, but I think that's a sacrifice I'm happy to make, because for me it's all about that string bending and vibrato as a blues rock guy. So, right, what do we want to do this? A few steps, I'd say 4 steps to do this. Step number 1, you've got to drop the bar down without making a noise. Step number 2, I'm going to flick the string that I'm going to be doing the harmonic on, which in this case is going to be the G string. After that, I need to touch a harmonic, and then, last step, I'm going to bring the bar back up to pitch. So let me do that for you. Bar down, and then flicking the G string, so to speak, and then touching the harmonic and bringing it up. Right, a little bit faster, you get something like that. Now what I recommend is that you start doing this technique on fret number 12. It's a very strong harmonic at fret number 12. Some of these ones around here get a bit tedious, and you sort of need to know what you're doing a little more to get them. So master fret number 12 first. Now the other very important thing that we need to talk about is muting the strings. Without muting, it's going to get very mucky, especially at loud volumes. Because all of those other strings, when you bring the bar up, are going to start vibrating, and that's going to lead to quite a terrible noise, to be frank. So just remember your muting. Let me do that for you again. That's a G there. Fret number 9, you're going to have a D. And then fret number 5, you've got another G. One at fret number 4, and then it starts to get into big boys territory at around fret number 3. Pretty difficult. Usually even I balls that up. There it is. And then you've got a few micro tones sort of around here, all the way up to fret number 2, and I think whatever key you're playing in, you'll be able to use those harmonics, because you can continue to pull them up. For example, I play a lot in the key of A. It's a great key to play rock in. And fret number 5 there, that's a G. But that's only a tone away from A. So if I play an A, I can pull it up and sustain it for days. Yeah, you can go have a bite. Right, my next trick is Otto Floundering. This has been done by most of the great rock players, in particular the ones that come to mind: Zakk Wylde, Gary Moore, Eddie Van Halen, loads of other players. It's a heavy metal staple, if you like. The first thing you need to be able to do is a really fast trill. There's a couple of things you can do. You can either just do the open string and a random fret, say fret number 4. And what I'm going to do with my right hand, I'm going to use sort of this part of my finger just to cup the G, and you get this crazy sound. The way I prefer to do it, which is a little bit more out of the school of Zakk Wylde, I suppose that's more sort of a Gary Moore thing, just doing with open and one other fret. But I really love the sound of when you get 3 different frets. So, for example, the trill is going to sound like this: 4, 2, open, 4, 2, open, 4, 2, open. Right, just a repeating thing, and you get that fast. And when you've got good at that, you can. And that's pretty cool. Yeah, good tip for you. With this and the last idea, you want to be on the bridge pickup because you've got more harmonic content coming through on the bridge pickup. For example, if I flick it over to the neck, it still works, but this is better. Yeah, I like that. Right, any more tips on that? No, I think we're good to go. On to the next one. Okay then, so pick harmonics, another great rock staple. Everyone does these. People that come to mind: Billy Gibbons, Zakk Wylde. Those would be probably the 2 most well-known people for these. Now it's quite a difficult technique, at least it was for me. In the early days I struggled with this probably more than anything. I just could not get it. And the thing that really did it for me was watching some Paul Gilbert instructional material where he was just playing a straight rock groove on one note on an open string, and you know where the snare would hit, he would hit a pick harmonic. So let me give you an idea of that. Okay, and what this did is it enforced the idea that, you know, your picking technique does not have to change in order to execute a pick harmonic. What does have to change is sort of the way that I dig in. Now what I'm doing when I usually pick is my thumb is fairly close to the string, and this is straight out of the book of Paul Gilbert. You know, I've got my thumb stuck out and the pick is at a 45-degree angle to the string. And when I want a pick harmonic, I just dig my thumb in like that. And of course, you do have to have a bit of trial and error because there's harmonics all over. Just to give you an idea, they're all over that area. And you know, when you've got a Strat style guitar like this, you can actually measure where they are in accordance to where the pickup is. I know I've got quite a strong one over this middle pickup. And I think this is what players like Eric Johnson do as well. I'm sure you've all seen his Cliffs of Dover, you know, the live version, and it's great to watch such a virtuoso like Eric Johnson. And when he's doing those pick harmonics, it seems to me, and this is just an opinion, I haven't talked to him or anything, but it seems to me he's measuring where they are in accordance to where the pickups are. It gives you a good ballpark. So there we go, pick harmonics, lots of fun, hope you enjoy. On to the next one. Okay, so the last idea that I've got for you is doing a rake. Now you might think, Sam, this is easy, you know, and maybe it is for a lot of you, but I think doing stuff like rakes is just a great way to build your tone. And let me give you a few examples. See, I led in with a rake there. as well. So what am I doing? The important thing here is my right hand is muting all of the low strings. And I think for anyone who uses distortion, this is a very necessary thing to work on, otherwise things get very messy. And it can be a very difficult thing to try and start doing if you've been playing for a while, because you've really got to change some habits in that right hand. So what my right hand is doing is I'm sort of somewhere between these two pickups. I'm just resting the karate chop area of my hand, if you like, you know. I'm just resting that between the two harmonics on every string that I'm not playing. Okay, say I'm playing the E string, I'm just resting that hand on the E, the A, the D, the G, and the B is kind of this grey area. Usually what I prefer to do is actually rest against that with the underside of my first finger, so I'm muting it that way. But you know, it's the reason why it's a grey area is because if you do mute it with your right hand, you have to be very careful not to mute the E string. So I prefer doing the string next to the one that I'm playing. I prefer muting that with my left hand or my fretting hand. How are you going to practice this? Play some nice bluesy phrases. How many times have you heard someone do this? That's a good blues staple. I'm just raking into the first note. Try that on all the strings. You know, those higher strings are going to be the harder ones, and you can just move it to the lower strings as you go. So I guess that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you could drop a like, I'd really appreciate it. It helps my channel grow. And I'll see you all in a video real soon. Cheers, guys.